Yeah, he's more than earned this video. Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighbor JaxBlade is back with another episode of Would That Work Out? The series where I use my knowledge of personal training and exercise science to analyze a fictional character's routine and see how effective it would be in real life. And I just saw Infinity Castle and frickin' Akaza scenes, bruh. I had to come back and do this video, okay? Like, it just lit a fire in me. He's not just a pastry chef like these three. So today, let's talk about his training background, the real life equivalent, and how y'all can replicate certain training methods in real life. Akaza trained in the Soryu style of martial arts back when he was still Hakuji, a bare-fisted fighting style that utilized the user's arms and legs to unleash swift and powerful strikes that targeted opponents' neck, weapons, and other weak spots. Based on the real-life fighting style Soryu Karate Do, which is a Japanese Okinawan martial art founded by Soke Michiu Koyasu in 1950. It placed a balance on hard offensive attacks and soft defensive techniques, involving using an attacker's force to their disadvantage. The name Soryu means all around. Hakuji, before training in this style, was already a very durable and powerful street brawler, especially when enraged, able to beat grown men as a child until his master Keizo showed up and humbled him. Taking him on as a student, he trained him in the martial art, though besides a couple sparring sessions, we didn't get to see what he did that much on screen. Probably because a bunch of people bitched about the workout scenes in the Hashira arc, not realizing seeing characters train and then fight after witnessing the fruits of their labor makes a fight scene much more satisfying and also motivational to get your own ass in the gym and improve. But no, we're in this microwave generation of instant gratification. Give me everything now, but not the building blocks of how to get there. Screw Goku and Zoro, Toji and Gojo inspire me more, even though we've never seen either of them do a single push. Love Toji and Gojo, by the way, and I understand that this was a movie and they had a time crunch, but bring back consistent training scenes over just ore farming, my god. Anyways, due to the fact that we don't see what Keizo and Hakuji actually do, we can actually infer from their style. When training in traditional martial arts like this, Akaza most definitely practiced stances and kata. Kata is a detailed pattern of movements that combine specific sequences of punches, kicks, blocks, strikes, and stances to teach and preserve martial arts techniques. They help boost physical conditioning like balance, mobility, flexibility, stamina, explosive power, and timing, but they also serve as a memory aid for certain techniques. Kata is very helpful for developing fundamental skills like coordination, muscle memory, and fitness through its combination of explosive and slow movements through various stances. Mentally improving focus, discipline, body awareness, and strategy for battle. While specific techniques are not always directly applied in a regular fight, like if you were to get into a street fight or do an MMA match, they do serve as a great foundation for learning and refining martial arts skills and building tools to respond to unpredictable real-world scenarios. For example, I've got several friends who are just absolute monsters at martial arts, and when they are doing their katas, you on your life do not want to get kicked by them. Another thing Hakuji was able to do was brutally wipe out 67 men with his bare hands. Which, did you know that people actually compete in similar situations in real life? Not all at the same time, but one person having back-to-back fights against different people. Go watch those Kumite competition fights. That stamina and conditioning is absolutely insane. But also, this is something that we've talked about before, and that's the difference between true traditional martial arts training and stuff like boxing and MMA. The conditioning of the hands, arms, legs, and feet. In a lot of very old school traditional martial arts, people will condition these parts of the body to be able to punch through wood, cement, and even dent metal. Compared to boxing and MMA, which give you a great way to protect yourself and be a fighter, but due to the wrapping and padding to protect your hands, if a person who does those sports has to protect themselves barehanded, they usually end up severely damaging themselves, like breaking their knuckles or their hand in the process if they hit the wrong place because they haven't conditioned their knuckles without padding. Though that type of conditioning of constantly breaking the bones and letting it grow back stronger so you can hit harder has been shown to cause very bad arthritis in people's later years, and you don't got Michael Jackson ramming his fist through your face to help you make you super, just saying. You can still build up some of that bare fist conditioning through things like knuckle push-ups or, tapping hard objects consistently. There are tons of YouTube videos that show you how to do that. But again, it is imperative to stay safe with it. When it comes to strength training and muscle building for martial arts, Akaza goddamn gains. Dude is well built, powerful, and very strong even as a human. We've talked about this many times before, but building muscle while doing combat training can feel like a double-edged sword, because while martial arts is incredibly beneficial, helpful, and makes you very conditioned and a very powerful fighter, if you are are doing hours of fight training day after day after day, it can become very catabolic, meaning it breaks down not just glycogen and fat, but it can actually start to break down your muscle tissue if you are just overdoing it. It's why I did this video earlier this year talking about the swimmer's body illusion, because a lot of people will see like really jacked fighters and think, if I train just like them, I'll look just like them, when that is just not the case. Go check that video out, I broke it down thoroughly. Due to the time frame Demon Slayer is in and how we've seen the characters actually train when doing their stuff, by the way, I got a whole playlist for you if you're interested in that. You can watch it after this video. And knowing this takes place years before that, here's how I guess Hakuji would train when he was still human. Definitely carrying things like logs and rocks across distances to build his back and arms, doing squats with stones and log presses, doing push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, squatting while carrying buckets full of water and rocks, sledgehammer strikes, hill sprints, striking drills, jar holds, katas, sparring, shadowboxing, and of course running. All those would make sense for his martial arts training at the time, though realistically it's more beneficial to have days for resistance training and days for martial arts, because doing them too close can lead to a ton of systematic fatigue, and that's no good, especially when you're trying to improve. For fun, I actually made a Akaza Hakuji program that you can try out if you want to. So would Akaza's training work in real life? You're probably not gonna be running through hordes of people like one of those AMVs with these songs blasting, but yeah, it can def make you stronger and more conditioned, and def go check out Infinity Castle in theaters now. It was well worth seeing on the big screen. Also, if you want a full in-depth training program with like meal plans and stuff like that, check out my links in the description. And if you want a sensei like Keizo was to Hakuji, then I can help you there. All you gotta do is follow the link in my description and we'll talk on Zoom and see if my services can help you out. And friendly reminder, I do have a group dojo on School right now that you can check in the description box as well. This is for everyone who wants to like have their training arc and transform in 5 months. We're all in the second month right now and a lot of us are making really great gains. So if you want some of that, get in there. If you made it this far in the video, type Hakuji over Akaza. It shows me who watched all the way to the end. And now I'll just give a very brief review because like I've already read the manga, so it's not really like a spoiler, but I'll just talk about the movie and what I think of it real quick. So I went to go see this like on, I think Friday or Saturday. I went to go visit it and saw it with some friends. And yeah, it was a great time. The animation, spectacular. I saw it in Japanese, though I will say this is one time I wish like I saw it in dub, because I love both. I love both dub, sub. I've been that long before the great anime shift. I've always said that. And I think it would have been better to watch it in dub just because I can focus on the action more clearly, because every time they're fighting and then I have to look down and look up. Like, it's different when you're at home watching, your eyes have just like evolved to do that sort of stuff, but now it's just like I really am trying to like focus on what's going on. And yeah, man, I just had a beautiful time. The fights were hype, they were immaculate. I love seeing like all the just beautiful nature. Like the animators really brought their A game and it was just spectacular, man. I really had a good time just seeing it. And it's funny because I've talked about this before, like Demon Slayer is one of those shows where I think when the hype high wears off, I think it's just okay. I think it's an okay show, like, you know, very basic storyline. I like all the characters, stuff like that, majority of them, but it's not something that I'm like very excited to see. Like Chainsaw Man, I'm very excited to see. Like, you know, Dawn to Dawn, I'm very excited to watch, stuff like that. I've said a lot of modern shonen these days just don't hit for me, but like when Demon Slayer's action hits, it's just like that hit right there. And the fact that it's like gonna be a trilogy of movies, so like I think the next one comes out the same year Spider-Verse 3 comes out, that's gonna be fun to check out. That's definitely gonna be fun to check out. But no, definitely had a great time with it. I don't really got a lot to say on it because it wasn't like that much of a surprise. I already knew what was going in, like what was going to happen, so the animation was just chef's kiss. But yeah, no, what did y'all think if you've seen it? And if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I recommend it. It was just a super fun time. But anyways, I hope this video helped you. I hope it was informative. If you like my vibe, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon too so you get notified, because YouTube's doing this weird thing where people are not seeing videos. Like apparently they've done this weird restricted thing for a lot of channels. And as a matter of fact, going off that, can y'all tell me if you see this video still when you search for it? Like, can y'all do me that favor? Because I don't know if this video is shadow banned or not. Like, I know it's in my playlist and I know it's in my most popular videos, but I don't know if it's like still there. Like if you try to search like, you know, total concentration breathing, like Demon Slayer, stuff like that, JaxBlade, because I was like wondering about that the other day. So YouTube's just being a whole bunch of weirdness. So hopefully it gets out there. That's why I'm doing these premieres. And my next video, I'm very excited to release because I worked on it. I feel like it's going to help a lot of people out, and I also felt very passionate when doing it. So hope you check that out. But remember, like I always say, keep calm. Boom! Booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Now go get them gains and be a strong man like Hakuji.